me what I saw. And what were you thinking? Don't your eyes are to be so. Every moment with you is a new sensation. You told me that within me you found your soul.
I'd like to welcome everybody again. Welcome back to Vortex Media 2, and tonight we are back again with our weekly show, Black Domestic Discipline Show with Queen Yashel. And again, I expect to have a very good show once again. And as you can see from the title of the show, Freemasonry and how it can benefit the quote-unquote Black community. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And as you can see, we have the lovely Queen Yashel with us once again. The alpha female is back. The queen, the prophet of this day and time, Queen Yashel. Peace, Queen Yashel. What's going on? Unmute your mic, darling. There you go.
Peace to the gods and peace to the goddesses.
Peace. All right. Let's go in. And go ahead and just, it's your world. You know what I mean? Go ahead and talk to people, tell them about the show or whatever you want to do. And I'm just rolling with you. Let's roll.
Okay, well, Freemasonry has always been in our community, whether it was for good or for evil. It's always been there. To be a Mason simply means to be a builder, to strengthen. It's like a membership in the brotherhood or sisterhood. It has many meanings. It means being a part of an unbroken tradition that stretches back over 6,000 years, since before the Europeans even learned about it 500 years ago. Because if you look back into their history, everything goes back to 500 years ago with them. And during that time, they were building their cathedrals and creating their own white gods, their own white superheroes. They put everything in their image. Freemasonry means sharing the values of our nation, history, and culture. Now, granted, our community is divided, so-called divided. You have the Christians against the Muslims. You have the Moors against the Kemetic people, the indigenous people against those who identify as Black or African American. We have been divided and conquered as a nation, but now is the time to get into the historical knowledge of our ancestors and take back our sovereignty through Freemasonry. Being a Mason means forming a deep and lasting friendships that transcend the boundaries of race, religion, and culture, as well as those of geography. So, for example, you have the Divine Nine. Are you familiar with the Divine Nine? I know you are.
I mean, in turn, you talking like mathematics, like the number 9 and what it represents?
Yeah, the number 9 has a lot to do with a lot of things, but we're really talking about the Divine Nine, which is fraternities and sororities. So it's like made up of historically Black fraternities and sororities. I always said that if the Black community as a whole were all in a giant fraternity, we would be finally unified. We would treat each other with respect. We would practice and benefit from group economics. We would have more functional households with the man and the woman inside the household. I preach this all the time because it's so important. The Prince Paul Masons are the oldest and largest group of Masons of the African origin in the world. That and the female version, which is the Eastern Stars. I don't know if you guys can Google this stuff up. It's called the Eastern Stars. But what many don't know is that 95% of the founders of the Divine Nine are Prince Hall Masons or Eastern Stars. The fraternities and sororities always had pathless. The fraternities and the sororities always made me do more research in the spankings and discipline as needed. They even have the paddles as their, you know the paddles, right? In the sororities, and they call it hazing, but it's not necessarily hazing. Like hazing, I think they took it to a different level and made it into something retarded. But the paddles, they actually paddle the women, which means they spank the women, they spank the men, because it was a symbol of discipline. Like, you're not going to just come into this fraternity or sorority and just think that you're just going to run things and just do things in a chaotic manner. They really respected the fact of discipline. This is why I respect them. So if you're against white Masons, because there is a difference between white Masons, then don't send your children to public schools. Don't go to work for corporations. Don't call the police or the ambulance. Don't turn your water on in your home. Don't use electricity. Don't go buy foods from the grocery store. Grow your own foods. Don't just even fucking breathe, because really the evil Masons are they're spraying the air with these chemicals, which is called chemtrails. Okay, the point is we have to use this system to build our own. They learned about all of this from our history and our culture for the wrong thing. Masonry can actually be good. It can work for the good. It doesn't have to always be evil the way that they're using it now.
You know, Queen Yashel, you're trouble. You are trouble. You get me in trouble every time.
I try not to.
People are gonna, they believe that Masons are the problem. That it's actually Masons that are, hiding the information and being the gatekeepers and,
Masons are the problem. But let's describe these Masons. What do they look like? What is their agenda? I think we need to dig deeper into that, because these Masons, even though they learned everything from African culture, from Moorish culture, from indigenous people culture, they learned all of this. It's called order. There's either order or chaos. Right now we're in chaos. They're in so-called order, which is falling down really fast, but they use the Mason system. It's not saying that the Masonry, the Freemasonry, it's not evil. It's how you use it. Just like a gun, I can go get a gun and go shooting up a whole bunch of people just for the hell of it, and that would be evil. But I can use a gun to go save Michelle Obama or somebody. I can save her life. It's about what you're preserving and building. Mm-hmm. It's nothing scary to it. This is in our bloodline. This is like how even the Crips and the Bloods, the Democrats and the Republicans, they all use the same colors, red and blue. That's Masonry in itself. Mm-hmm. Order is something that's put together to where people work together. They have the same basic beliefs. Of course, they have under beliefs under that. They have different factions. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're using the people to make things happen. We can't do anything without each other. So we need this. And have you ever noticed, you've been to college, I'm sure.
Yes.
And so you've seen the dances, you've seen how they were all in the same clothing. They're all like the military. The military, they use the same clothing. They're unified, and they show that through images.
Right. Yeah.
It's a very powerful theme if you think about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're unified. They don't let anybody in unless they're being tested, because you have to go through the test to show that you're approved. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you have to use it for a good reason. And right now, Black people, or whatever you want to call us, you guys still haven't come up with a good name for us, like unified, but I'm sure that'll come in time. I'll just say Black or melanated people for now. We have to use our own science. This is our own science. We haven't been using it for the past 20, 30, 40 years, and now it's time for us to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree on a lot of things you're saying, and I actually attempt to tell people that, like, fraternity. People look at Freemasons and they watch like the Illuminati videos and stuff like that, so they don't see. You can look at the model, like you said, they might use it for evil, but the structure is not evil. And fraternity,
the structure is not evil at all. The structure is exactly what you said. It's structure. That's what we need.
Yeah. And fraternity is brotherhood, and even secrecy is not evil, because you know you can't tell everything to everyone who's not sometimes a part of what you're doing, or it could be, you know, whatever your plans are, whatever you're doing, or whatever it could be, you know, stopped. The people, you know, if you don't keep some things within your own self, right? Within your
And
own.
so, and eventually, I see that's where we're heading because we don't have a choice. Like, we cannot keep broadcasting this stuff online. Eventually, we're going to have to come to a point where we're actually doing and not just talking. But right now, the talking is necessary. We do need to get the word out and gather our people. Eventually, we do have to become silent about it. That'll come in time. I just want to basically wake up my people and let them know that Freemasonry is African, it is Black, it is indigenous, it is whatever word you want to use for God or use for the people of God. Use that word. That's what it is. It's order.
Yeah, all indigenous. All indigenous people have an initiation system.
System, exactly. And they have to follow through with it, and they also have to build. They're expected to be adults. They're expected to build and produce results.
And so, what would you know, that's like in terms of, so are you saying that we should start our own fraternal organizations, or join like free Masonic organizations like Prince Hall already exist?
We don't have to do Prince of the Hall. We don't have to do Eastern Star, because Eastern Star and Prince of the Hall, they all started the Divine Nine. Okay, so basically they broke off from the white Masonery or whatever, and then they started the Divine Nine, which really impacted our community. It was so hidden and so secret that a lot of people didn't even know what was happening in these Black sororities and fraternities in college. It was a secret society, and it built up so much, and it built these men up, and it built these women up. They played their part. It will be secret after a while, but they did not. They went into the system. Sometimes you have to go into the system to learn the system, and then you create your own system. And that's what they did. I wouldn't say be a part of Eastern Star, because if you go into Eastern Star, I'm not judging you. I'm not. Black women. If you go into Eastern Star, you're probably going there to learn the system, the order, the culture. You're learning order, basically. And then, but what you'll do is you'll take that knowledge and you'll put it into the Black community.
Right. So, should we start new fraternal orders and secret societies?
Well, yeah, and that's the confusing part about it, because I know that we have to start the order. The order has to happen. It's just, what are we going to identify as? We're so divided with all these different tribes, cultures, and the Hebrew Israelites, and the Moors, and the indigenous people, and the Africans, and the Blacks, and the Black Americans, the Muslims, and the Christians. You know what I'm saying? It's so divided. We have to unite under something. Just for the fact of uniting, we can have different beliefs, that's fine. We can all learn from each other, but right now we have to have some kind of code name that's going to unite us, so we can be more powerful. We need the numbers, and we need the people. The people is everything that matters. Nothing else matters.
Right. Well, the Olmec Nation of Warriors is a fraternal order. Make sure y'all go in the description box and join the Olmec Nation of Warriors. Can you initiate us, Queen Yashel, into The Order of Black Domestic Discipline. What's up with that?
Maybe you guys need to, I won't say spankings. I'm not going to spank. I don't spank my husband. I don't spank men. I'm not into that. I am into the hierarchy. What is the word? Hierarchy. Keep an order, that's my husband right now. He's keeping the order in our household. We're building slowly, but we're building. And I'm all for that. So it would maybe take another man to haze you all guys, because you guys do need some discipline. Us women, we look for protection. We look for unity. And if we don't see that within our own men, we're kind of like lost and confused and chaotic. What I would like to see is the Moors, the Muslims, the Christians, the indigenous people, the Hebrew Israelites, the ancient Kemet people, the Nubians. I would like for you all to find a way to unite. Whether you have to do hazing or not, it's fine. That's fine. Like, discipline is good, but we're at a point where we need to move forward. Like, we've been stagnant for so long. But I know you guys got it in you. I believe in you, Lex. I believe in you. You taught me a lot of things about indigenous people, which I already knew. We were the first. Every single country you can come up with, Black people were the first there. And so I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from the Hebrew Israelites. I connect with all of this. I'm just like, okay, now what? What are we going to do now that we have all this knowledge? We have all this training. Our Black men are standing up. They're being they're educated, and they're teaching the people. You guys are teaching us, and sometimes we might not even like your share your videos, but we listen and we grow from it. And I've seen a lot of the change in Black women because of the work that you all do. So at this point, I'm like, okay, good, we're game. So what now?
Organized. That's what I'm doing, but you're right. I see it like, when you speak about the different factions or whatever, we're not, that's obviously some people are just fanatical and people have different beliefs. They're not going to, be able to come together to some degree. But if you look at the power of fraternity, like I said, 1,000 organized people can chase 10,000 disorganized, So the people who are like-minded, like me, you, and others, this is the fraternity right here. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter whether you agree with a name or whatever it is. It starts with us. You know what I mean? That's why I always talk about numbers. What you're talking about is, kind of like advanced stages. You know what I'm saying? And me being a part of a fraternity before my life, I understand the structure and numbers, so I try to relate that. But
are you the Q dogs?
No, I mean I was actually.
What were you? I'm just curious.
Huh?
Which fraternity were you in?
No, I was not like a college fraternity. I was.
Oh.
Yeah, I was actually a part of the Blue Lodge before. So I try to relate to people certain things on a baby level. When I say, yo, everybody just get to one place. We need to be numbered. Like, you can't do nothing without, structure and numbers. So, I mean, what you're saying is, it's, I know it'll be controversial because I know how fanatical and crazy people are with the Freemason thing. I mean, you say Freemason or you say you was involved in some type of fraternity, they swear that you're worshiping Satan and you're doing gay acts and sacrificing children, and
I mean, they do. The white fraternities, they absolutely do those things. They've published it online. They made it very clear that they lock kids up in cages so they can deal with real situations when they grow up. They made this very clear that they have sex with children. They're very sick. They even had a black man on a table roasted like a turkey for Thanksgiving Day. That's sick. So they're using this system for evil, for just wrongdoing.
Yeah, these are systems within systems. You know, it's like, it's not Freemasonry, so to say. So it's just like me and you could be in a church with 1,000 members. And, you know, that can be kind of like fraternity, right? But then there's 200 of you who kind of got a whole nother agenda. You know, after church, y'all might go home and y'all might take one of the other members and roast them or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like within anything, there's good and evil. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if we can say that Freemasons are locking kids up in cages. We can say there's secret societies, and there's all type of secret societies. And one thing I need to make clear: there's a difference between Illuminism and Freemasonry. What people call the Illuminati, started by Adam Weishaupt back in 1776. Illuminism invaded the lodges. They used the lodges as a recruiting ground. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like if me and you had an organization and we joined churches, but we just using the church as a recruiting ground for a much bigger secret society or something. You understand what I'm saying? So but there are some wicked things going on in the dark. That's no question. You can see that on the deep web. People wouldn't believe what was going on the deep web, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, so what's up? We gonna get this order popping off or what? You gonna get this spank order popping?
I think so, because that's the whole reason why the sororities and the fraternities had the spanking paddle. I was always like, why do you guys have a paddle for your image, for your logo goes on a paddle? And they always gave me some half-assed baloney story like, oh, it's just a symbol. It means nothing. We don't haze. That's bullshit. They spank them people. They spank the women. And they spank the men. The men spank the men, the women spank the women. Which I think that the man needs to spank the woman. If she needs the spanking, she should get the spanking. Because the hierarchy, I hate that word. But
it can be like an initiation too, you know.
It is an initiation. Okay. I didn't want to go here. Damn it, Lex, I hate talking to you because you always take me to another place where I'm not trying to go publicly. But a couple years ago, I went to a mental hospital. I went to jail. I died. And this all happened in the same week.
You died?
I died. My husband literally... I was on a journey. I was working for a white man and his wonderful, beautiful, blonde wife. And when I showed up for work, I just I had no control. I consider myself a normal person. I had no control over my body, period.
Yeah.
My hand literally went straight up to my eye like this. And then I turned. I had no control over my motor senses or nothing.
Were you demon possessed or something in school?
It was not demon possessed. It was the initiation. This is why I didn't want to go. It was an initiation from God. God was basically initiating me and showing me the reason why.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Your hand goes over your eye.
And then when I have my hand over the eye, the voice said, and this voice was so clear, it was so clear that if I have to keep out the fake. I did a video about this. There's fake light and there's real light. So when I had my right hand covered over my right eye,
do you know what you just did? Now people are gonna take this snapshot with your hand over your eye on Vortex Media, Lexing yourself, Illuminati Masons. Go ahead, I just had to warn you.
When I had my right hand over my right eye, I had to keep it shut because all of this light right here is fake light. I had information that came into me through this area. I literally seen a compass. It was a compass. It was showing me where to look at. It was showing me what to do. It showed me everything. I was completely out of it. And in this reality, you would think that I was crazy. But I had no control. I'm telling you, God stepped in. God is a God of order. God is not a God of chaos. He literally did this compass that I seen. Every time I turned, I had to turn. Every single time I had to turn. And I seen new things that were brought to me. I seen new people and the reason why they were in my life, and my purpose in life, and what I was supposed to do. So the voice said, do not take your right hand off your right eye. Don't do that or you will die. So they pried. My hand was so stuck to my right eye. This was when I was in the truck. I couldn't even move. I have witnesses that can testify to this. They pried my hand from my eye. I'm like, no, don't do that. The second my hand got off my eye, I was in that emergency bed. The ambulance tech came out. This was all on my job. The ambulance came out. I laid on the ambulance. I locked up. Lex, I could not breathe. I could not talk. I couldn't do anything. The only thing that saved my life was my husband. My husband stood over me, and he said the Lord's Prayer. That Lord's Prayer, do you know the Lord's Prayer? It literally put breath into my body. I could not breathe. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. Wow. It breathed life into my body. So when I came back to life, my hand immediately went back over my eye. I went to the ambulance. They took me to the crazy house. I'm seeing all these things. I'm hearing music in 432 hertz. I'm hearing music that is just so beautiful. The same music that you hear on the radio right now, it sounds completely different when you're in this space. When you have been initiated, you see everything differently. This world is just totally backwards. I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. A lot of, the truth is stranger than fiction. Some people can't handle paranormal things, or until you have those experiences, it sounds crazy to other people. So, shout out to MBK, man. Thanks for the super chat donation. But yeah, I've had similar experiences, and Yashel, is pretty difficult to explain to the mundane mind something like that, So do you?
That's why I said I didn't really want to do it, but it's spiritual. It's a connection to God. People ask me, why did you come public about your husband spanking you for discipline? And they ask me all these stupid, retarded questions. I'm like, okay, I came out because I had to. They don't understand. Like, this is something that has to be done because there's so many Black women who are afraid to literally be submissive to Black men. They're afraid to come out and talk about it because if they talk about it, they're all of a sudden shunned from society. They're the lame. They're the doormats. Their voice doesn't matter. That's bullshit. Our voice matters. Matter of fact, our voice speaks louder than the swirlers. Our voice speaks louder than the Black women who wanted to talk all the time and argue and fuss and fight. Our voice, we are powerful. They don't get that yet. They're going to see a taste of it. I'm telling you, it's coming up. I'm telling you. It's about Black patriarchy. White women, They benefit from white patriarchy. Any race of women benefit from, there's Asian patriarchy, right? There's nothing wrong with the men ruling. That's why I'm like, what the hell is wrong with the Black community to where we look at Black women who support their men, build with their men, build industries, build empires, build children who are going to be married, who we build children who are going to turn into adults.
Mm-hmm.
We do all this work.
Do you feel like that experience you talked about kind of helped you understand Black domestic discipline to some degree?
Yeah, my husband basically woke me up. I was fucking dead. I was like just another sports news and weather type girl, just talking about the bullshit, the housewives of Atlanta wearing straight weaves and shit. And my husband, he woke me up, not verbally. He talked to me telepathically. Literally, his voice, it sounded the same, but it was much more impactful. It had a lot more strength to his voice. Everything we said, we spoke telepathically. I don't know how to recreate this. I wish I could. I can't, but this is what happened. You guys can look up the records. Y'all can look up the hospital records. It's some real shit.
What's interesting about that is that's, they say that, part of, in a lot of orders, the ritual of being symbolically raised from the dead, from a sleeping state and raised up again, kind of even like Jesus and Lazarus, being raised from the dead and raised out of the tomb. But people are going to say you're crazy for saying stuff like that you had some experience and you put one hand over your eye and,
Yeah, but it wasn't on some damn musical type, hip hop type, Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't on that superficial bullshit. This was some real stuff. This stuff, I had to have my right hand over my eye in order to see the fake light from the real light, the fake information from the real information. They don't understand that. They think it's a damn joke, like a ritual. They think it's just something that you do to look cool. It's not that. If they never fucking been initiated. All these Rihannas, these Jay-Z's and Beyonce's who have their right hand over their right eye, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Mm-hmm. They've never lived it. They've never died. I died over this shit, and I was brought back to life. But the only reason why I was brought back to life is because my husband prayed for me on several times. My body was ice cold. This is another time. The same week, my body was ice cold. He said I was stiff. I wasn't breathing. I wasn't moving or nothing. Guess what he did? He said the Lord's Prayer. And he had emotion and feeling into it, and then I got this big gasp of air. I was able to breathe. I was able to see the demons. Demons are real. Demons are ones who want to see destruction. They want to destroy everything that we built. For millions of years, they want to destroy it because they want power. But there's also angels. Mm-hmm. This shit is real.
Yeah, I talk about I did a show the other day on the demonic world, and it's interesting that you bring that up, especially when we talk about fraternal orders and secrecy. One of the biggest secrets is the existence of the spiritual world and how it affects us. And I think even when we talk about our problems and we say, well, why are we doing this and why we can't do that? No one ever figures that there could be some other influence. Okay, the problems of the past and drugs and the hood, the ghetto, the system. But what's really behind all of that? What's really influencing people to do this stuff? Do you see demonic influence out here and among our people?
I see among our people, I see demons, but I also see angels or superheroes. Like, I'm a big like in hip hop, for instance, this is just a small example. Hip hop is very controversial because they talk about the death and destruction of our people and us killing each other, the bitches being bitches and the whores getting diseases, and it's all death. But when you listen to the beat makes you want to go work out. Like, the beat makes you want to go do something super. And you're like, this is so negative but it's positive at the same time. It's powerful. Mm-hmm. Our people are powerful. What we need to do is take hip hop, use that as a tool, keep them same beats, keep the down bass, keep the up tempo, keep all the beats. The beats are good, but change the lyrics, change the visuals, and that's when we'll see power. All right, let's say if we don't want to talk about hip hop, let's talk about the Christian church. The Christian church should say, this is why I was so pissed off at the Christian church. Like, they almost threw me out the fucking church. I was drunk as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. I had some to drink because I was taking in all this information. And they were like, why are you so militant about this? I'm like, because you motherfuckers lied to us. We gave our money every single Sunday. We were faithful. We came to the Christian church. They told us about Jesus, about white Jesus, but they didn't tell us about black Jesus. It says in the Bible that Jesus had copper skin tone and that he had hair of wool. Okay, this is hair of wool. He's black. Just say that. Say who the Israelites are. Say who the people. Say who they are. They never did that. All right, fine. Let's move away from Christianity. That's another story. Let's go to, we can go to materialism.
Don't talk about my Jesus. Don't, girl, don't you talk about my Jesus. No, I'm just playing with you. Go ahead, girl.
I'm just serious, like, I would get put in a chokehold if I ever questioned Jesus. If I questioned white Jesus, my mama put me in a chokehold, my grandma, everybody. But I still had the questions. I was still bringing the questions because the questions need to be answered. I need real answers. I don't need no bullshit. You don't just, when you build a house, you don't just be like, you know what, just believe and have faith that the house is going to build itself. That shit is so stupid. But that's how we were raised. But, there is such thing as, there's so many facets to how we were raised. It was just the stupidest thing. And then this goes back to flat Earth and the Bible talking about.
Oh yeah, you were a flat earther, right? That's right.
I'm a flat earther. I mean, a lot of it makes sense. I like Bitcoin. I'm into I'm exploring Bitcoin right now. If everybody can get together and agree that currency is currency, then that's what it is. It's currency as long as everybody believes it, right?
Well, the 5,000 Elite has a Bitcoin mining operation. That's part of what we're going to do. So that's, why not take advantage of it? You know what, Yashel, though? Even in families, there's secret societies. Like, how there's family secrets. And even within your own family, you don't know everything, or the way, certain family movers are moving, or what the family's doing, or what the family owns, or like the family history. Like, I think the nature of the secret society is just, you can't get around it. Even amongst friends, like, didn't you have growing up, you and your girls, y'all kind of had a secret societies, like the closest ones, where y'all talked about things you never shared. Nikki didn't know y'all was calling her all type of trifling bitches, right? But it was just you and them three. But y'all was hanging with Nikki, and then when y'all got alone, y'all called her a trifling bitch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and even
Definitely, because like some of my family members, they only call me when they see me successful online or when I get a lot of hits. They're like magically call me up out of the blue, like that's true. I get that. It's same with the best friends.
mm-hmm.
My first best friend, who's still my best friend, actually threw my French fry on the floor and kicked it around and put it back on my plate. And guess what I ate? The biggest French fry on my plate, which was the one that she kicked around.
Mm.
It was kind of like an initiation thing. This bitch was brutal to me at first, but then I found out she was the most faithful. When I'm trying to find out, how can somebody who's so brutal to you at first be your most faithful soldier? The person who will fucking kick ass for you. They will die for you. This chick will still to this day die for me. And I think to myself, why? Like, why are you wanting to put yourself out there like that? And she just doesn't give a fuck. Because we made a bond through years, so that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
There will always be secret societies and branches in the Black community, but that doesn't mean that we can't build. That doesn't mean that we can't take this shit over, because really all of this stuff belongs to us. It doesn't mean that we have to stay divided and argue and fight and just be reckless and chaotic. We can still build.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, maybe you should start like a fraternal order for, Black domestic discipline. It's like it'd be a secret society of women who get spanked for though, because there's maybe women who's down with it.
Yeah,
but they
and
don't
they are.
really.
And they hit me up. A couple women over the past couple of days actually hit me up, and they're like, well, some of them, they don't need to be spanked. Everybody doesn't need to be spanked all the time. But, I guess you can, I don't know, some people might consider me a bad girl. I don't know if you've seen all my videos, but there's been times where I'm not as soft-spoken as I am right now. And there's been times where I've been considered a bitch from going the fuck off on swirlers or whatever, simps, whatever. But at the end of the day, I still am married to my husband, and we're still working together to build. So, yeah, to respond to that, Black domestic discipline will have to be its own entity. It will have to draw in those women who need that. There's a lot of women who need discipline, and they're honest about it, and they admit it. Those are the women I work with. I don't work with the bullshit Black women who just want to cuss, fuss, never have any damn solution or nothing to give to the community. I don't work. Those are bottom bitches to me. So I will work with the queens. Right. And we'll build Black domestic discipline back up again.
Let me put this out there too, because I've seen a lot of suckers doing stuff like, when we had the show and you invited any woman who had a problem with what you were saying, or to have a discussion with you. They was in the chat room, but they were scared to, talk to you. So I just want to put that challenge out there. Queen Michelle is still willing to speak to any woman who thinks she doesn't have it right. And that goes out to Nikki in the chat room, because she's one of the people who be on other channels talking shit. And you know, I just like to say you're invited if you want to you know, join. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're one of the people I'm talking to because you talk shit, but you're scared to face the alpha female right now. So you can send an email to lexvortex@gmail.com and back up all that shit that you talk. And so I need you to clear this up, Yashel, also. Um, Along with her and a couple of other women I seen in some of these back alley YouTube chats, they saying you're promoting domestic violence. You know, they actually saying that you're promoting domestic violence, and you know, I'm also promoting
the same women who spank their own children on the ass. So basically, all them bitches need to be locked up because they're promoting domestic violence towards their children, right? Because you can't sit up here and tell me that these black women are not beating their children. They're going to beat their children. If their children walk out in the street and they tell them not to walk out in the street and they keep doing it over and over again, they're going to whoop their asses. Stop being fucking hypocrites. That's what needs to be said to these little people talking about, oh, you're promoting domestic violence. Like, shut the fuck up. That shit is so fake. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. Like, and it's kind of childish because people know it's just childish for people to say that. I hear people, I mean, just take it and twist. I heard one girl, and and she was kind of cool, but I had to block her ass because she was talking about it. And she said, yeah, you know, the spanking shit is cool, but when she started talking about, you know, knocking people's heads off and all this, that's what I said. Whoever said anything about somebody knocking?
They make it down shit.
Right, knocking somebody's head off. And I'm like, man, you know what? Just for that, I got to block your ass because that's foul, because that's a misrepresentation.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to clarify what you're saying again. What's the difference between domestic discipline for the slow pokes like Nikki and domestic violence?
It's so simple that I feel like I'm talking to elementary kids, but you know, I don't want to down talk anybody. You know, domestic discipline is when the woman needs help with controlling her attitude, her mouth. Basically, the man is in a situation to where he's holding down the household. He's a good man, good black man, taking care of the family. And the woman, she probably was raised by a single mother, maybe. The father not in the household, so she doesn't know how to respect authority. She doesn't know how to talk to a man respectfully. As a matter of fact, she tries to dominate that man and take control of him, his money, his actions, his friends. Maybe this woman is just out of control, but her heart is in the right place. Mm-hmm. So because her heart is in the right place and she wants to learn how to be more submissive or more cooperative, then she'll bring up domestic discipline and say, you know what, honey, I know I have a problem. I need some help with my discipline. It could be working out. It doesn't even necessarily have to be her mouth or her cussing him out. It could just be she needs help with spending money recklessly, or she just needs help with working out, or she just needs help with dealing with the children better, or she needs help with cleaning. Maybe she doesn't want to clean the house. It's a big house. Like, she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to, just things that women should do. She's just not mentally able to do it. So the discipline and the spankings can be a motivation for her to do that. Just like when you got a spanking when you were a kid, or everybody else got a spanking when they were a kid.
Well, how is that different from somebody saying just busting a woman in the eye for what she's not doing? You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, we're talking. God.
Because I'm just saying, I'm just saying for the people, because you got these.
Okay, for the people. For the people, domestic violence is punching in the eye, throwing your girl down the steps, being selfish and childish, and being just abusive off the tip of your tongue just whenever you feel like it. Domestic discipline is when the man is disciplined himself. He wants to see order in his house. He wants to see balance. He doesn't hit the woman. He literally just spanks her on her ass. That's it. Very simple. Big difference between getting your lip busted, between getting slapped in the face, your hair pulled out, black eyes, thrown on the ground, and breaking your back. You know, that's domestic violence. Domestic discipline is just a simple spanking, just a reminder that you need to get in order. That's it. Simple. Big ass difference.
I mean, I think that's clear. And I think, I don't know. I don't know if it's just childishness or just, why would people even try to get that mixed up? It's obviously,
Well, no, I can see how, a lot of young girls, they get it mixed up because when I was a younger woman, I was in violent relationships. And so if you have an older woman, which I consider myself an elder to these women, telling you that you need to submit to a man, these women don't even know what the fuck a man is. They don't even know what a real good man is. So they messing around with these thugs. They messing around with men who really don't even love them as much as they love them. And so they get it confused. I get that. That's fair. That's fair to say that, you know what, Yashel, I'm with a man who stays out all night, smokes weed, he drinks, he brings women to my house, he takes my car all night, and when he knows I have to go to work the next morning, that's fair. I'm not getting on these young black women for going through that. I don't even want that to come across as if I'm telling these women that they should be spanked. Because in this situation, if they would a man like that, who drinking and drugging and treating them wrong and beating them black women don't need to be in this situation. They need to leave. I will never ever tell my black sisters that you need to be spanked by some damn thug or some ignorant ass Negro who don't know about his culture, don't know about his history, he ain't building nothing or none of that. I'm not gonna tell them that. Now there's a difference. If they're obviously we've been historically robbed, so black men and black women are not gonna have a lot of money out the gate. But if you see a black man, right, you know he's doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. Let's just say, for instance, this black man had a live stream on YouTube. He's working every single day to produce something. And we might not have immediate results, but because of the fact that he's working every single day so hard on his blog or his business or whatever the case may be, he's working so hard. I can see that you know what, we're in the slums right now, but your work ethic is going to bring us to the promised land. Your work ethic, by the way you have been working so consistently, you're going to get us out of this hellhole. All I need to do is hold you down. I get that. That's a completely different topic.
Mm-hmm. Somebody says, so thugs are not desirable? Black men that are thugs are not desirable?
They would be, for me, thugs would be more desirable to be our military if they were properly trained and re-educated. Because either way it goes, thugs are going to shoot another black man. So why not teach these thugs to shoot the right target?
Well, right now, though, they're not doing that. So are they desirable or not? I mean, now.
Thugs? Okay, let me ask you this. What's your definition of a thug? Let's clear that up.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think the thug thing is women like guys who they feel protected about. A lot of dudes that you would classify as thugs would be kind of considered manly in their mannerisms. Like, they don't take no shit. They'll fuck you up.
But that's the reason, Lex. That's the reason what I'm talking about. The only thing that thugs bring is that they don't take no shit from women. And that's what women like.
Or men.
They don't take no shit from women or men, right? So I'm like, why can't you get with a man who is working every single day to build something? Something. It doesn't matter what it is. He's building something. He's a good man or so-called educated. Like, call him whatever you want. Even if he's a thug, if he transitioned over to the other side, that's fine. I get it. Mm-hmm. But you can't be doing baby ass shit and expect for a woman to respect you and not.
Find a good man and let him spank you.
Find a good man and let him spank you. That is the solution.
Because somebody said, and I got to say, because somebody, asshole was always typing in my chat, all talk and no solutions. Nigga, this is a talk show. The hell?
It's also a solution.
Right. What the hell we gonna do? Like tonight we're gonna solve the problems of the world. The solution is bend your ass over and get spanked and get in line with your man. That's one solution. Domestic discipline.
It's just one solution of the many solutions. That's all I'm saying. Black domestic discipline, it works for me because sometimes I can get out of line. I do get mouthy. I get an attitude, and sometimes I can't control my emotions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's when I get spanked. He pulls me over his lap and he spanks me. But it's not the bad thing. It's just that it's some shit that has to happen to keep order in the household. It starts in the household,
Now, this just thought came. What if it was like a polygamous relationship? Could the alpha wife spank the other wives too for a man or something, like put them in place? Like, can women also, I don't know, I'm just throwing some crazy shit out there. Like, would you can women do it to other women to them on behalf of their man? Maybe, I don't know. Yashel, come over here and get this girl right.
I don't know. You know what? I haven't thought that far into it. I can tell you this: I'm definitely not against polygamous relationships with the man having more than one woman, because it just, to me, it seems helpful. But I don't know, Lex. That's a weird question to ask me. I never thought about that. Like, that's weird. Okay, it's kind of weird to me.
Like, if you're in a polygamous relationship, because it's usually kind of like a dominant wife and shit, and it might be your job to keep the other wives in order. I don't know. So, you might have to.
Well, I can't speak on that because I'm not in that situation right now. But I can't say what I would and wouldn't do. I might have to, but I don't know. That's weird. I'm not there yet.
Can you throw your joints? Because a lot of women see you as soft and submissive and shit, like you a punk. Can you fight? Can you think these women can beat your ass? Because I think they say it as kind of a weakness. Like, you, can I set up the match up?
The reason why they can't beat my ass is because when I'm about to be in a fight, I zone the fuck out and I focus on my target, and I put all of my motion, all of my thoughts into beating this person. So yeah, I could do that because you have to protect yourself. You have to. Everybody deserves protection. I always had to fight because Black women, for some reason, they see me as this little innocent looking girl. Mm-hmm. Had to whoop their asses so they can leave me alone, because if you don't whoop their asses at first, then they're going to think that they can just treat you any kind of way for the future and for time to come. And I'm not living like that. So same thing, even on the job, you have to put women in place so they know their place. Bitch, you cannot fuck with me. You can't fuck with me. There's certain things you just cannot do. You will respect me. And that's just it. And if you can't respect me, we will not talk. The job will still get done. I will still do my job. But I'm not trying to be your friend, bitch. I didn't come here to be your friend. I came here to get paid. That's on a job situation. Same thing on a business level. You're not going to do business with, and this is more advanced, but you're not going to do business with bitches. I'm at a point in my life where I just don't deal with bitches.
Do you consider yourself an advocate for men, though? Because, like, I think I think that might be kind of the problem with, like, some of the, I call them feminists, but they just say, there's no such thing as feminists. We just stand up. We got to stand up, But are you an advocate for men? Are you anti-Black women?
I'm an advocate for Black submissive women who are submissive to the Black man. Because that's the only story that I know. I'm not a Black man. I'm not a man. I know of the Black man story because I've lived this shit through my whole life, but at the end of the day, I'm not a Black man. I'm a Black submissive woman to the Black man. So, and I don't want to try to take y'all's thing, but Black submissive women have went through bullshit. We had to go through so much shit dealing with Black women. They were our number one haters. They always hated us because we were the ones who could get the good Black men. And they were always single. And they're like, always wondering why they single. It's just a hot fucking mess.
They get jelly. But all right, so
I'm an advocate for Black submissive women who are submissive to the Black man. Because that's the situation I'm in. And I love it. And it feels so good. And we're going places with this. But, a lot of these Black women, they're not the Black women who are submissive to the Black man, they're not going to come out in public because we get so much backlash. We get backlash from simps. We get backlash from Black women who are like, all mouthy and want to ruin the relationship and totally dominate and control Black men and take their money and destroy them. So we're backlash again from them, but also white men don't like us. So it's like three different type of community. That's against us. Community. And I feel like I'm kind of the spokesperson for Black submissive women who are submissive to the Black man because it's scary as fuck. Honestly, it's scary coming out here and telling people this because you're the target. Now I'm the target. I don't mind being a target for my women though because they're worth it. These Black women are so beautiful. They will build something out of fucking nothing, and they will respect their man every inch of the way. They are queens. They're goddesses. They're superheroes. I respect them.
Why is it that a lot of Black women are offended by what you're saying? Why does it seem to upset them? Or why do they seem to be like, totally against this? What is it? What is it in them? Give us some understanding. Why would they be mad for you for saying submit to the Black man? Like what was going on?
Because we're a threat. So we are the biggest threat. White women would be the second biggest threat. Mm-hmm. So they're already threatened by white women because white women, Asian women, they don't have a problem being submissive. That's the feminine role. They embrace it and they rock that shit. But if you say something about a black woman, black men first of all, that's what they want. They would prefer a black woman who is submissive. But because of society, they can't have that. So they're forced to go to other races, right? They're forced to go to other races who are going to cooperate with them and build something with them. And so black submissive women are their biggest threats because we're the ones, we never had a problem with getting black men. And if you think about it, all these black women, they're like, oh, there's no good black men in the world. You want to know why? Because we get them. We get them first. Us black submissive women, we get the good black men first, and they hate that. That's why they call us their biggest threat.
It seems to me that it would make more sense that if that is what works and that's what good and that's why y'all are able to find good black men, then why would they not just be like, well, maybe I need to be submissive to a black man and I'll be a lot happier in my life? Why would someone fight that if it's not? That doesn't make any sense. That's insanity.
Well, they're miseducated. They're caught up in materialism and their weaves and nails and being independent women and raised in these horrible thugs and whores. You know, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to do. So they're busy with that. But I can tell you, I have noticed in just being out in society, out in public, that black women are coming around. They're starting to see the truth, and they'll get there eventually. But right now, they think that they can just be like, oh, fuck black man. I'll just go to the white man. That's some bullshit because white men really, they're like, of course, I'm going to fuck a black girl. It's easy pussy. Because these black women are throwing themselves at these white men and being so submissive to them that they're on some ghetto gagger shit. That shit is some slavery fetish type shit. It ain't going to do nothing. It's not going to do nothing for them or the future generations. Nothing. What is it going to do? Nothing.
Is that what's going on now? Are they black women?
No, they're trying to start the whole movement on swirling, but they don't understand their actions and the consequences of it. It's very heavy. Like, oh God.
Wow. That's pretty heavy. I know I seen a YouTube channel with this black woman who said that she is gonna breed the black man out. There's like a whole, like, it was crazy. I wish I could.
Yeah, and I heard of that too. So while she's breeding a black man out, guess who else she's breeding out?
Herself. Stupid.
Dumbass. Checkmate.
Wow.
Stupid. You can't. Black men and black women are meant to be together. Like, we are one of the same, but we're just different energy. And we just look different. That's it. But we have the same bloodline, and we should protect that bloodline. And we should protect it like it's gold. That is like the biggest thing. It's bigger than the oil. It's bigger than air, water, all of those elements. Melanin is what's up, and it's our duty to protect it. Because you don't know if you're going to reincarnate. We don't know anything because we were so miseducated. But what happens if you have to reincarnate into another life or through your children, but you need that same bloodline? You're not going to preserve your bloodline. What are you doing? It's our responsibility to do it. Now, I believe in a God. I believe in a higher power. But God gave us the power to make sure that we preserve our own bloodline to make sure that things happen.
Right. Let me ask you this, and this is a real question again. Is it natural? Is it a decision, or is it if you're in your mental healthy state as a woman, is it natural to submit to a man?
That's a crazy question. Of course it is.
All right, so.
And so you're not, but I don't want people to get confused about submission. Like, the man loves you. He's your partner. You guys are working together. You're building. There's a negotiation side to it, to where you can negotiate. You talk to your husband. You're not just some silent little doormat. You know what I'm saying? You're a powerful queen. And so you can say things that can motivate your husband to do certain things. It's like I said, when you guys have balance, the whole thing is about balance. There's sometimes, I'm not going to lie, me as a woman who gets spanked by my husband, who's disciplined by my husband, there's times where I am more dominant in the relationship. Whether it's sexually, whether it's me cooking him a meal, whether it's me giving him a massage, I'm the dominant character in that situation. Whether it's me giving him advice or vice versa. Sometimes there'll be times where he seems more dominant. This is without the spankings, period. This is just on some verbal type stuff. So everything is a wave. It goes up and down. There's a time to win. There's a time to lose. There's a time to be on top. There's a time to be on the bottom. The whole thing is about balance in your relationship. That's what I just want these women to know.
What if, here's an issue someone brought up to me. You're talking about Black domestic discipline, letting your man spank you, and this is obviously an adult thing. Someone says, yeah, but what about the teenage girl, 16, she's, and she stumbles upon this information. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right. So then let's go further than that. What about the 16-year-old who stumbles on porn? What about the 16-year-old who stumbles on a man shooting another man online? We can find that everywhere. Matter of fact, we can find anything online that is the most disgusting, garbage, terrible stuff that a 16-year-old can come up with. What I tell people is that 16-year-olds, they're not ready for Black domestic discipline. They're not ready for that. I would say 18 at the very least is probably ready to receive this information. This information is not for children. I never presented this information for children. So either that person who said that, they need to step their game up and control what their children listen to, what their children Google. They need to have the parental controls on their internet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because some people may say, well, it may be a young girl who could already be like in an abusive relationship, and a message like this may, make her think it's okay or something.
But here's my question. This is where logic has to come in and settle in and take control. Because if she's in an abusive situation, that's not domestic discipline. She's probably getting her ass whooped. She's probably getting her eye punched out, being abused. There's a difference between abuse and discipline. Like for instance, all these Black people who spank their children, if one of those Black people ever put a black eye in their children's eye or put any kind of scars on their body, that would be violence. It's the same thing with adult discipline. It's the same thing. You don't see no scars on my body. You don't see none of that because it doesn't exist. The only place where I get spanked is on my ass. That's it. With his hand or a belt. When y'all doing all this extra shit, yeah, that's violence. You have to differentiate between the two. This is nothing to be playing around with. Kids don't need to be involved in this because they can't differentiate between the two. So you need to check your children and check what they're watching online. That's your responsibility.
Do you believe in spanking children?
Okay, now that's the funny part. I actually do not spank my children. That's crazy that you ask that. I mean, I got spankings when I was a kid, and every once in a while, if my children are doing something really, really bad after I told them over and over again, don't do this, don't do this. You know, if I tell them that and they're still just totally ignoring me, if it's something that's going to endanger their lives, I am willing to give them a spanking. But I honestly can't remember the last time I spanked any four of my children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, for the most part, they're good children.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people after our shows, I don't know if they're listening, but the women are saying, "Yeah, Shell's just a freak. She is talking this spanking shit. She just likes it. She's a freak. She's into this BDSM. She's trying to make it some deep shit. She's just a freak." That's what the ladies are saying to me. Yeah, are you now? Does this go further? Are you into the BDSM shit too? What's going on?
I honestly do not like BDSM. There was somebody called, oh my God, I hate to throw names. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But there was somebody very popular in the Black YouTube community. He's into like making women submit verbally and everything, like talking to women and putting them in a state to where they're more balanced and productive verbally. And he's into BDSM. He has subs and he spanks his women. But then he asked me to do something publicly that I felt was very disrespectful to my husband. And the reason what fueled the fire with him, because he's a very popular figure in the Black YouTube community. We fell out. He wanted me to do something. I didn't agree to it.
Hold up. You can't just tell me this is a very popular YouTube guy. You guys, who are you talking about here? Let me find out. Somebody in the popular YouTube community asked you to do something disrespectful.
If I would have showed that message to my husband, what he asked me to do, saying that I submit to him and that I do this stuff for him and all this stuff, my husband would have been so damn pissed off that he would have spanked me. And that's what the guy who doesn't understand. He's into BDSM. I'm into domestic discipline. There's a big damn difference. Domestic discipline is to correct bad behavior. BDSM is more like a fetish, like a spanking thing, and then you have sex and it's over. You get your nut and it's over. Domestic discipline to me is a little more deeper than that.
So hold up. You're not getting away with that. So a guy in the YouTube world sent you, obviously y'all had to be communicating for whatever reasons, show, interview, I don't know. And then he just decides, well, you're into Black domestic discipline, so you must be some kind of freak. So he sent you some crazy text message.
He sent me a message and he wanted me to post something publicly. I disagreed to it. And as a matter of fact, I did a video response to it. And he just totally, like, it was just a mess.
What did he want you to post?
I can find the message, but I would have to look through it. Maybe I'll have it on the next hangout. But it was something very disrespectful to me and my husband. Because if you're disrespecting my husband, you're disrespecting me and our family and our household and everything that we build. And I'm not doing that. Yeah, okay, fine. They can easily say, I am the chick who exposed her ass. A Black man was spanking me on the ass, and everybody can see my ass. But I don't want them to get the wrong opinion about that, because that was my husband. That's not just some random Negro. In the BDSM community, they spank each other's wives. They're with different men. The women are with different men. The men are with different women. That's just not my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not my husband's lifestyle. My husband don't even want another female.
Mm-hmm. So this is a discipline thing, even though
it's about disciplining fixing our relationships to where we can have something that's healthy and normal and calm and progressive.
Right. So I just wanted to clear that up because, like I said, you got some crazies out here. They took the shows we did and they just went crazy. Oh, they're promoting domestic violence, and I even heard one dude talking about, man, I lost people to domestic violence. I can't believe, they were so sensitive about this. Like this is actually, contributing.
Well, there's some pussies and some bitches, and they need to grow up, and also they need to listen to the truth. Go to BlackDomesticDiscipline.com and really get a deep understanding. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a simp.
Stop being.
You gotta grow up, man.
Yeah, I mean it's an adult thing, right? So yeah,
it's an adult thing. It's for adults. It's for, like I said, the Black women who want to improve, and for the Black man who is responsible, loving, respectful. That's who it's for. It's not for the rest of these simps and these other people.
Somebody asked a question in the chat. It said, "Wait a minute, he would have spanked you because of the dude's message."
If I would have went along with that shit, hell yeah. I didn't go along with it, so there was no need. I actually told my husband about that message. I was so offended. I tried to get along with the Black BDSM community. I couldn't do it because they're so fucking disrespectful, man. All they want to do is just spank you and just have you submit to them on some misogynistic type shit in public, and that's it. There's no deep foundation to it. Like domestic discipline is a deep foundation. Building something with a family, with the mother and the father, building an empire, building things to pass down to your children. BDSM is just I spank you and then we fuck type shit. I'm not with that. And I'm not and all these Black BDSMers who came to me and were very disrespectful, talking about they want to spank me. They feel like they deserve the right to spank me and this and that. And can we set up a time? And a lot of them are here in Atlanta. And they're like, oh, well, you live in Atlanta, so we need to set up at a time where I can spank you because you got disrespectful. I'm like, dude, only my husband spanks my ass. You guys are not going to spank me. They don't get that.
Yeah.
That's why I can't fuck with the Black BDSM community. And this guy, this YouTuber, I'm not going to say his name.
Why not? Let it out. Let it out. Let it go. Let it go. We want to know. I got a feeling who it is, too. If I say it, will you confirm it?
I will. If you say it, I'll confirm it.
Tommy Sotomayor.
No. Okay, no.
No?
No.
It's another popular who could it be? I could have
Alan Roger Curry.
Oh, okay. Bad on shame on you, Mr. Curry.
No, but I like his message. The whole thing was he verbally dominates women. That's fine. Not even dominate. Dominate could be confusing for some people. But he verbally controls the situation with women. He knows how to do that just with his mouth. He doesn't have to spank anybody. So when we were on the hangout, he was like, I'm all with spanking. I have my BDSM subs and I spank them and this and that. And that's where he kind of left me lost because I'm like, okay, that's your lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a Black BDSMer. That's cool. I'm into domestic discipline. That's just two separate things.
Right. I want you to do something for me real quick. Could you give a message, take out 1 minute or two to send a message out? What would you say to the simps? Like what is your message to the simps?
Okay, I need to define what the definition of a simp is, first of all.
I don't know if there's a clear-cut definition.
Are you just talking about like men who just let women walk all over them?
Yeah. Or they have this doctrine of feminine supremacy and you know, I got a guy, you know, he's this stalker. He's a night, you know, he's really, you know, he harasses me and he talks about, um, you know, women and, you know, and how just, you know, that, you know, oh, it's kind of like the black woman is God thing, put the woman back, you know, let the woman, you know, do her thing. We're just here to serve her. And, you know, all that type of stuff. What would be your message to the simps out there?
That is a completely different topic. That could take a whole nother hour. If the woman is like running all over you because you're a pussy, you ain't taking care of no bills, you ain't taking care of your family, you're not doing anything, you're not working every day to build some kind of business. You're just basically blowing your life away and letting the woman walk all over you. I don't even know why she's there with you. I wouldn't even have a simp like that to even spank me. He does not deserve to spank me, period. I would just simply walk out the door and never come the fuck back. Another definition of a simp is somebody who is abusive, somebody who beats on you. They stay with their mom and, you know, they just have nothing going on for them. Leave them. Walk out the door, never come back. But if you, let's just say that there's a man who actually holds his own weight, he is disciplined enough to work, whether it's working or creating his own business, it doesn't matter, but he's making things happen to where you can have a habitat, where you can have a place where you go live, you can have a place where you go rest your head, you can go eat, and you're still walking all over him, then yeah, he has, I wouldn't even call him a simp at that point. I would just probably call him a guy who is not a thug, but he just needs to spank his girl. Maybe she just needs some discipline in that situation. There's so many, that's what I'm saying. I need to know the exact situation.
Well, let me ask you this. How would you, I mean, would you appreciate if your man just spent all day just like complimenting you all day, like every, you know, kind of like whatever you like. Oh, queen, you're so beautiful. Queen, what can I do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, every word you speak.
He does. You know what's funny, Lex? He does that.
Really? Hold on. Don't say that. Don't say.
He does that sometimes. Like sometimes my husband will just turn around and just give me a massage.
No, that's cool, but I'm talking about like constantly. You know.
Constantly it could probably get annoying because it's like, where's your heart coming from? Like, what are your motives behind this? Like, why are you so kissing my ass? I would raise questions in a situation like that. I have been with men like that who they just want to cater to my every need, and then I've been with men who they don't cater to me at all. So that's why I like my husband so much, because he's a balanced individual. He gives me the catering, but then he knows how to take that shit away at the right time to where I don't get into the spoiled brat type mode to where, oh, you massaged me for the past 3 days, so you need to do that shit for the rest of your life, like every single day at 8 o'clock from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. You need to massage me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep the balance.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because the weird thing about the situation is that I know women who they say this thing like, you know, the type of man they want to be treated right and all that. But then a lot of times when these women get those type of men, it might be cool at first, but, you know, and I know because the women in my family are kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like that. If they're gonna be turned off. I don't know. It's like they say they want this and treat it a certain way, but just like anything, like you notice, like some of the women that don't let go of certain men is because the way they treat them, it's almost like a challenge or something. They want what they can't have. You know what I'm saying? When a dude is not paying attention to him enough, or he may be abusive or whatever it is, but it's kind of like the women is more attracted to that than someone who's like sending her flowers every day and shit. Because I know many situations where I seen like some dude, he really likes the girl, and he's trying to be all sweet, talk to her, send her flowers, but she's involved with a total asshole. You know what I'm saying? And she could easily have chosen the guy who was being nice and all of this, but the asshole is what turns her on.
Well, that's the thing. So that's a little bit on the simping side, because if you want to give a woman everything that she wants, she's going to take it and she's going to use you, and it's going to have to continue. Because if you stop giving her what she wants, then she's going to throw a bitch fit, make your life a living hell.
So you're setting yourself up. You got to maintain that. If you want to simp, you're gonna be a simp forever.
Of course, my husband does things. He buys me chocolates. He buys me flowers. When the time is right, he massages me. He does things. Sometimes he'll cook. He'll clean. It's like, but he doesn't simp himself out. Because if he did, I would be making him do that shit every single day, every single second of the day, because that's just in my nature.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to keep doing this shit and keep doing it. Why stop?
Right.
Keep doing that shit, and I want you to do it all throughout the day. Don't change. I mean, it makes life easier on me, but that's not necessarily a good thing. That's just like giving a child candy every single day and putting them on the internet, letting them play with the phones all day and letting them eat junk food, and just, it's like you're giving them what they want. That's technically what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have to pay a price for that. They end up being fat. They end up being miserable and depressed because of the junk food. They don't have any water, so they're dehydrated. So you're not really helping the woman by catering to her every need. Mm-hmm. All you're doing is creating a spoiled ass, miserable brat who will drag you into the seventh circle of hell.
The circle 7 of hell. Oh man, Yashel, it is fun to talk to you every time about this, because I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's cool is because, this is what I wanted to ask you. What is a misogynist?
Like the ghetto gaggers who get put on blast by white men.
Because women call me a misogynist. They say a male chauvinist.
They're stupid. But a misogynist is like somebody who's just like holding up signs saying that they're niggers, and holding up signs saying that they're like, they worship the white man. The ghetto gaggers thing. Okay, so a black misogynist, what would that look like? To me, it would be something that's very unbalanced and unrealistic. It would be, okay, for instance, that the viral video of that guy who has his woman.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I've never been attracted to pimps. Like, me and pimps never got along, because I would see through pimps bullshit. I think of misogynist is more like a pimp thing where they want to sell women for sex trading them off, gaining the benefits from it. They want the women to humiliate themselves to serve them. They have no say-so. The women are just like quiet little slaves. That's misogyny. Mm-hmm. Discipline is actually more like a monarchy. It's more like a king and a queen. It's more like the queen has power, the king has power, It's just that the king has a little bit more power than the queen. That's okay. That's okay. Because there has to be the hierarchy. And you wouldn't go to work and you have a boss that's over you, and then that boss has a boss that's over them. There's nothing wrong with hierarchy. You go through, yeah, and that's normal.
But that's not nature. Like, I had my man over here the other day, and I hear people say this all the time. And I heard people say this, in nature, men don't do shit. Basically, they say, like, you know, the queen bee, you know what I mean? The beehive and shit. The lions, the female lions. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women that's on that real nature, and some of the dudes, you know, into this nature stuff. They say in nature, you know, just like we should act just like nature. The queen bee. I mean, that's how it is in nature. You don't see no man doing shit in nature like in the animal kingdom. You don't see, you know, the queen bees running shit, and the men just are there to serve her. I think on the low, Yashel, that you may be that you see yourself as the queen bee, and you really dominate men, and your power is in the submission, but it's really a form of domination. Gotcha. Did I? See, I'm gonna see. You're revealing the secret to women, though.
You were not supposed to say that. Like, that was
I can see the alpha female thing you got going, but I think, but see, the thing is you're revealing the power is in your submission, right? Women do run shit; they do dominate, but I think that you got a different approach. You're basically saying you don't have to do all of that if you the powers in your, because at the end of the day, you still know you maintain power, right? Because at the end of the day, you women can manipulate us to do what you want to do at the end of the day.
I'm not proud to admit that, but yeah, you're right.
All right, so, and you get more, what do they say? You get more bees with honey than salt or something. So I think, you know, I think you're on the low. You're really a tyrant. You're really a tyrant, dominated but you're on the other side of the spectrum.
Yes.
So there's nothing weak about what you're saying. It's actually more powerful. Yeah. And that's it's like, yeah, it's actually more power in what you're doing. And maybe people are missing that message. Because it's like with anything, you know, if I'm given strength, then obviously that's my power. You can't wrestle me to the ground. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So what is your strength? Your strength is in attraction, in subtlety, in submission. This is woman. Right? You're a woman. And I think that's why women are intimidated by you. I think that because I like I said, the messages I see in the chat sometime, and that, but they won't face you. Why
yeah.
you so you're scary? You on the low. I know you got the little alpha female ego. I can see it. You feeling like you the queen, like you dominating this game.
Yeah,
she's agreed.
I do feel that way. Wow,
that's amazing. So somebody says they had a question I seen in the chat. They said, well, does he just spank you out of anger? You know, because I guess people have all these different questions like, okay, I'm just angry. I'm spanking you. I'm taking it out on you.
Well, I'm glad that I'm married to a man who is pretty disciplined himself. Sometimes he is angry when he spanks you, but when that happens, he has a right to be, because 9 times out of 10, I did some shit that just totally pissed him off at the time. But mostly, my husband is more calm when he spanks me. He just knows, he doesn't even necessarily want to do it. It's just something that he knows that has to be done. If not, then I'll just take it and I'll run with it. And it just has to be settled. So,
no, I'm saying
like your parents said, it hurts me more than it's gonna hurt you.
I think I'll tell people are thinking like, what if you didn't do nothing though? Like, you're just angry and it just takes it out on you.
No, I always just, no. That's being in denial. These women are in denial. They do something. They can do something. I do things. I know I deserve this week. I'm not gonna be like dismiss that. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't happen. I deserve it. When I get spanked, I deserve it.
All right, y'all. There you have it again. Queen Yashel is in the building, Black Domestic Discipline. And if you missed it earlier, you might want to rewind the show, because we talked about Freemasonry also, and how, you know, that structure and order can be important and be a service to us, and how, you know, all of that. So, you know, it's been a great conversation. Anything else you want to add, you know, while we're talking about this, or you probably looking at the chat or something. They're crazy.
Why you not looking? Yeah, just, you know, you gotta spank that ass. And women, I applaud you all for reaching out to me and starting new accounts with BlackDomesticDiscipline.com. You guys, you're being honest and you're being truthful, and you women are saying, you know what, I do have a problem with my mouth. I do have a problem with my attitude. I need some kind of discipline. My parents can't discipline me at this point, but my husband can. And so I applaud all you guys for coming out and creating that account, creating that community. So that's it.
And that's what's up, man. Once again, y'all, you have entered the vortex. We're gonna begin to close out, man. I want to thank you, Queen Yashel, for coming out again. It's always a fun experience.
Thank you, Lex.
You know it, man. Black Domestic Discipline. Now, make sure y'all go to BlackDomesticDiscipline.com and download your spank videos, man, so you can find out and see how it's done. You know what I'm saying? Women, take heed. The alpha female is in the building. We're gonna close out with Yashel's song. You know what I'm saying? Our World. It's a beautiful song. We want to thank y'all for coming out. Peace.
Now, Boston's most complete lady.
What was she thinking when she told you goodbye? She didn't see what I saw. And what were you thinking when you told her goodbye? You must have known you were someone better. It's All that you want, all that you need is right. And all I need is a guy. All that you want, all that you need is right. And all I need is a guy. It's not. Your eyes are the pain to your soul. Every moment with you